Alright, so today we're going to be watching and basically praising a video called To the Death by Corridor. The reason why we're praising this video is because it does lightsaber fights 10 times better than Star Wars itself. So we were going to go through it, watch it, say what we like, and just enjoy. The reason I'm making this video is because I'm a fencer of almost 2 decades, and every time I watch a Star Wars fight, I sometimes cringe inside at some of the terrible stuff that's happening in there. You can watch other channels who go through what's wrong with their fights. So seeing this and how good it is just shocking and just a pleasure to watch. All right, so here we are. We're at the beginning. I'm loving where we're starting already. The weapons facing each other, not in the air somewhere randomly pointed towards the sky. Praise. All right, let's go. Starting with some Bade beats, and I love that part. Get a feel for your opponent. Not sure about that stance, but it's still really cool. Still facing forward at least. Reset. What I love about that is that both opponents are pointing towards each other, just a different approach. It's facing down the teacher's on the left and the students on the right, but it's still valid, and it's really cool to see that kind of face off rather than like one of these when you're facing someone with a deadly laser weapon, but you know, it's fine.
You need 2 things to win a sword fight.
Resets
Perfect
it.
distance at the right time. Right now, the teacher controls both.
All right. So a lot went on there, and I had to go through this little sequence slower, so I'm going to show you what I saw. Okay, so this is at half speed. I turned off the sound because it's terrible at half speed. So at first I thought, what the hell is this very weak looking attack here? Kind of looks like one of those fake attacks that you see in a movie to set up something or just to telegraph. But if you keep watching, it sets it up, gets a hit back, and then sets up the next thing, which is the blade beat that allows him to do all this. So it's kind of cool because most of the time when you see something weak thrown at someone just to be blocked, you're like, okay, they're just telegraphing, but this one seems like it actually had a purpose to go in, get hit, and reset for something else, which ended up with this attack. And from here you see a super wide swing, and at first I thought that was just that's a shitty wide Star Wars swing, but if you go back at when he flicks it at him, he flicks it, he has to dodge because he's so close right there, and he has to let go of the weapon, and when he lets go of the weapon, he loses balance, and then he regrips and swings from there. So it's not a swing because of, I guess, poor technique, you would say, but a swing due to circumstance because he's thrown off guard and off stance, so he has to do something dramatic to recover. So you see he's pulling all the way back to go back there. So at first I thought that was bad, but it was kind of cool within context. Right there you have them rebinding and getting control over center line, or trying to, and fighting for there. It's really cool. Another wide swing, but subtle movements for them to dodge out of the way. And they keep touching the blades just to make sure they keep their opponent in check, which I love. Keeps going with that. And then we reset. We take a step back and we reset. I'm going to put this back to full speed. So now they've reset and they're back in a distance. So the teacher just said that he's scared, and then, Master said that he's scared, then the teacher ends up bull rushing, and that's kind of cool because
he doesn't want to cooperate when you're scared.
When someone is scared, there's an opportunity to throw them off through drastic maneuvers, and that seemed very high energy, but it made sense within that context of like, the other guy's cowering a bit, let's force him into a hole right here. So that was kind of cool to see the manipulation of the person's state of mind within that context. The only commentary I have about this part is that he's running forward, like basically running, and that's a very like dangerous position to be in when you do this. It kind of makes you vulnerable because if you trip up, or if the person decides to do a quick action to enter, like counterattack, you're basically using momentum to go forward rather than like a stance and a controlled advance. It's not really controlled. It's more of a throw yourself forward and get your way in there. That's the only like comment I could say about that. But with the context of the person's nervous, I guess you could do that. It's just not ideal. Very subtle dodge there. Okay, so that part's really cool. If I go back here to the part where they're clanging, and then all right, so we're here. Contact, very quick dodge, moves out of the way, shifts the body weight. No problem with that. That's cool. Kind of would have liked the blade to be protecting him, but I mean, whatever. Again with the rush there. Super wide parries. Now, this isn't ideal. That super wide swing, when you're that close, that was a lot of time wasted on an attack, but then he immediately redeems it with this, which I love. As a point weapon fencer, using the tip to circle and play games with your opponent, I absolutely love it. I love that they included that because that would be a huge part of lightsaber combat if it was real. Not everything would be wide slashes like you usually see in the movies. A lot of it would be playing with the tip of the weapon and trying to enter and manipulate your opponent. So I'm glad that that's included. We'll go back to full speed. Does wide attack, immediately gets punished for it. Love to see it. He's weak, he's faltering. What would you do? Beat the blade and end it. Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
This school breeds the best.
Alright, so I skipped ahead, but if you want to watch the whole thing, the link will be in my description down below, so you can get the whole tech part. But here we are. This sequence of engagements feels like they were just calling out the Star Wars movies directly for all the strange choices they make in combat. So I absolutely love this. So let's just go through and you'll see what I mean. Comes back angry, starts swinging wide. It looks like something from the sequel trilogy. And perfect punishment. If you swing that wide with a weapon that only needs to tap you to cause serious damage, you're stupid. You're really dumb. So I'm glad they included that. You do wide things like that, all it takes is a calm. I love that the teacher here is stoic looking. He's just there like, okay, sure. Parry, parry, parry. Opening, dead. Perfect. Love it. We'll slow it down just for fun. This is how it looks like slowed down. Look at that. Where are you going? Why are you swinging so far back? You don't need all that. Yeah? You think you're gonna get anything? Oof. The blade was behind his head. Completely and utterly useless there. Look at this. Look at this. Where is it? There it is. Perfect. Beautiful. We love to see it. On to the next exchange. Okay, so when you're parrying someone at a close range and you don't have control, they can tap you. Now with normal metal weapons, they might be able to hit you and cause a little bit of damage at that distance with a minimal swing, but with a lightsaber, you lose your arms. This is perfect because in some of the movies, they're up close, stupidly close, and I don't understand how nobody gets hit in those instances. I'll probably plug a video of that in here, but like to see that they showed that if you do not have blade control this close, you lose. I love it. Okay, and this part is now everything that is wrong with some of the combat in Star Wars in one little scene. We'll list them out now as soon as this part is done. Just watch. All right, did you see all that? Let's say everything that was wrong with that. There are 3 cardinal sins in Star Wars combat, and they're all shown here. Blade spinning, number 1. Reverse grip, number 2. And finally, actually spinning your body, which gets immediately punished. So we're all good here. I love it. Also, I want to mention that the teacher's face here is everybody who has any experience with swordplay watching a terrible fight scene in a movie. Just look how uninterested he is, and just like, are you freaking serious? Are you serious, man? And here's the final exchange. Nice and fast. Consistent blade contact, keeping each other in check. Yeah. And the final swing there. Dodge on a wide swing and cut. Alright, let's look at that. So what I love about this final sequence is most of the actions are smaller actions and keeping their opponent in check, like back and forth, guarding, making sure they don't get past. Even on the wider ones, they're still relatively small compared to what you see in a Star Wars movie. Like, very short to the point. And even at that, when they're doing the clanging actions, when they're hitting, there's still enough distance that it kind of makes sense. Nice blind, move around. There's a heavy swing there that, I mean, he was kind of out of the way, so he maybe could have pulled it off, so that's fine. He's not immediately in his face. And then here makes the cardinal sin of a huge swing, but because it is a cardinal sin, there's a punishment. And I love that that's the reason why he loses. He loses because I didn't have the sound offline. He loses because he used a huge swing at such a close distance where the timing is way too long. And the student took advantage of that, and it's great. I love it. And that's the fight scene in its entirety. This was made by Corridor Digital, and I think they did 1,000 times better than Star Wars actually does in its combat scenes. They seem to understand the principles of what a plasma sword would be like. Like, there's things you have to take into account, and that swinging widely might look cool and it looks hype, but it makes no sense because all you need is a love tap to kill someone, which they showed perfectly in here. So I'm really happy to see this video come to fruition, and I hope that they take notice of what's possible in a fight scene. You can still have realistic approaches to how the weapon works, and it still looks awesome. These look 10 times better than the recent fight scenes we got from the sequel trilogy. Those were dumb. Absolutely trash. But this YouTube group made the combat super engaging and fun to watch without compromising on the functionality of the weapon in place. I love it. Fuck, I keep saying I love it. That's the video for today. Thanks for watching. If you like it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you have a video that you think I should look at and analyze, give me a comment down below and tell me what you think I should find. I'll look it up. Just give me the title. And if you agree with me, I think this was an amazing fight scene. If you agree with me, if you disagree with me, write a comment. I'd love to see it. And catch you on the next one. Bye.